Hello guys, welcome to part 17 of Legacy. First of all, I want to say that this story doesn't belong to me, so if you want to read the full story for yourself, you can go down in the description to find the link to the original post and read the full story for yourself. That being said, let's get into the video. Legacy, part 17, chapter 17, Entered the Pervert. Naruto left the main arena and found his team waiting for him. Everything alright? Hinata asked. Yeah, the old man just told me my godfather was in town. I didn't even know I had one. Naruto replied, chuckling. Godfather? Who is he? Kuronai asked. Jiraiya of the Sanin. Naruto said and laughed at their faces. I know, I had the same reaction when Gigi told me. How are we doing this, Sensei? Naruto asked. Well, I can train you at the same time. Otherwise, it would unfair as you will probably face each other in the finals. Kurunai said. You can give your full time to Hinata-chan. I will pester my godfather for some training. Naruto said. Okay. Kurunai replied. See you later at home, Himi. Naruto replied and kissed her on the cheek and left Konoha Hot Spring. Naruto walked through Konoha, heading towards an object, meet his godfather at the hot spring. Konoha hot spring were relatively small when compared to other exotic destinations, but it was enough for a village like Konoha. Naruto calmly walked through the village. He was still tired of opening all tired from opening all the gates and got beaten by Kurama, who had to heal him. No pain, no game, right? Naruto quickly arrived at his destination and found it surprisingly calm on the outside. Normally, in a warm day like this, no one should find the hot spring with more guests. In the end, it was better this way. Naruto entered the hot spring and made his way towards the reception desk. Sitting in the chair behind the desk was a woman around 40 years old. She had neck-length black hair, brown eyes. Good evening. I would like to know if there is someone called Jiraiya using the hot spring. Naruto asked. Not that I am aware of that, dear. She replied, and Naruto raised an eyebrow at her kind of tone. There is a couple of kunoichis, but the male section is completely empty. She finished her explanation. Naruto sighed and walked out. When he came outside, he noticed that Ebisu was there. Peeping on woman again, closet pervert, Naruto asked, making Ebisu jump. Such rude comment. I'm a gentleman, Ebisu explained. Sure, that's why you are blushing and have a small trickle of blood on your nose, Naruto said, pointing at him. Nonsense, Ebisu said, waving off. Shouldn't you be training? I heard you will be fighting. You will be facing Uchiha Sasuke. He's a prodigy, you know, Ebisu said. Yeah, Sasuke is great, I know. Once I drive his ass to the ground in front of everyone, no one will say that again, Naruto smirkingly said. You really think you can defeat an Uchiha? Not less the Rookie of the Year? Ebisox, even a genin can kill a Kage. Even a genin can kill a Kage. Naruto replied, such to the surprise of Ebisu. Besides, instead of speaking, shouldn't you be training Konohamaru? Naruto asked. Ebisu thought for a moment and came to the effective exercise for being there. I was tasting the hot water to see if it was good so that Konohamaru could train chakra control. Ebisu started smugly rubbing the bridge of his nose. Does he think he fools me? Anyone? Does he think he fools anyone? Naruto thought. Naruto was about to reply when he heard giggling coming from the hot spring roof. Both scanned the area and found a man with a small telescope peeping on the women that were taking a bath. I will not tolerate such behavior in my presence, Ebisu yelled and dashed. It yelled and dashed forward to the man. Tish, ruining my research, the man thought as he erupted in a puff of smoke and revealed a toad. The toad quickly sent his tongue and wrapped it around Evisu's man, slamming him in the ground and knocking him out cold. Toad, Naruto thought as he watched the man. He was a tall man with waist-length, spiky white hair tied back in a ponytail, with two shoulder-length bangs that framed both sides of his face. He also had red lines that ran down his eyes and wore a horned forehead protector that with the kanji of oil. He also had a noticeable rash on the left side of his nose. He wore a green short skirt, kimono, and a matching pant, under which he wore mesh armor that showed out of the sleeves and legs of his outfit. His outfit was complete with headguard, a small black belt, traditional Japanese wooden sandals, a red haori with two small yellow circles on each side, and a scroll on his back. He also had a tattoo in his left palm, which resembled one that Gamma has in as well. Gamma has in his as well. Are you Jiraiya? Naruto asked as he faced the man. Jiraiya looked at the young blonde, asking who he was. He suddenly started dancing and said, I may look like another Sanin, but there is no place you can hide from me. From the north, east, west, south, the omen kneel before me. I am the gallant Jiraiya said as he stopped dancing to see Naruto staring at him. Why is everyone in this village an idiot? The old man is a pervert. Kakashi is always late. My grandmother is a gambler, and now my godfather is an idiot and a pervert. Naruto thought, and all of them are strong, goddamn, very strong shinobis. Naruto thought and sighed and wondered why his father picked him of all people. Now that I think about it, I wonder who my godmother is. Naruto mustered in thought. Are you really my godfather? Naruto asked, not really wanting to know the truth. Godfather? Naruto? Jorah asked the blonde kid. Now that he looked at him, he really looked like Minato. He had grown well since the last time he saw him, which was around 4 years old. Hi, Naruto replied. You have grown, Jiraiya said as he approached him and kneeled to his level. Man, you must be a very killer. I think I should find my next source of inspiration. Jorah started laughing and patting his back. I wonder why my father chose you. Naruto replied as his eyes twitched. You know who your father is? Jorah asked with his eyes widened. Yeah, I have known since I was 5. Since you don't know, I guess you haven't been in the village since then. Naruto said, and Toad's sage nodded. If you are here now, how about you help me train for the Chunin exams? Naruto asked, and Jorah thought for a moment before he started to giggle. I will train you under one condition, Jiraiya said. Naruto knew he would most likely generate this, but asked what condition. Regretted, but asked what condition. I want you to get some mature fruit. Raya said, giggling perversely while making gestures with his arms to form the sign of an elegant omen. Naruto face palmed before a grin came to his lips. I have something better for you, Naruto said, smirking, which Jiraiya raised an eyebrow. He activated his Sharingan, displaying his full power to Jiraiya. Before Jiraiya could even say anything, Naruto locked eyes with him and said, Mangen, harem viewing technique, and Jorai was dragged into some hot spring that kinda looked like Konoha's, but they weren't. Joraya-kun, a blonde girl said as she was approaching Joraya, who was already submerged in water. The girl had light blonde hair and brown eyes with a purple diamond-shaped mark on her forehead. She has slender frame, but what really stood out was her double D cup breasts. Tsunade him, I know I loved me, come here. Jorah said as he nearly passed out of blood loss. Did he say, Tsunade? Oh, hell no. Naruto thought before he abruptly ended the technique. Jiraiya pouted. You stay away from Bachan, you pervert, Naruto yelled, pointing at him. Bachan and Sharingan? You have a lot to explain, Jiraiya said in a serious tone. Fine, but you can't tell anyone yet. What do you want to know first? Naruto asked. How do you have the Sharingan? Jiraiya asked. My father never told you, but my grandfather was Uchiha Madara. Naruto said, and smacking at his face, smirked at his face. Jiraiya was mopping the floor with his jaw. Madara? It can't be, Joraya said, shouting and allowing his brain to process the information from what my father told me. Madara Gigi didn't die in his fight with Hashirama Gigi. Years later, my father was born when my Madras, Gigi's wife, died. He left my father in the village. Naruto explained, and Jiraiya nodded dumbly. What do you mean for what your father told you? Jorah asked curiously. I don't really know how he did it, but when I activated my Sharingan at 5 years old, he appeared in my mindscape and explained everything. Naruto explained. It certainly is possible that Brat was she always a genius, Raya thought as he processed the information. I wonder how you never found out, Naruto said and snapped Jiraiya from his thought, getting a confused face from it. What I mean is that from experience the Rasengan he created was derived from the tail beast bomb. Tail beast ball. He saw it with his Sharingan. He couldn't copy it, but he could see how it worked, and after a bit of effort, he created this. Naruto said and extended his hand, showing his perfect Rasengan. You can do the Rasengan. Who taught it to you? Jorah asked. It wasn't every day you saw a 14-year-old pull a air rank jutsu. No one. I read my father's scrolls and trained, but I prefer the Raikiri or the Chidori for battle. I only use the Rasengan when I need to destroy something. Naruto said, grinning. Raikiri? Joraiya asked when his face palmed when he saw Naruto's hands sparkling in electricity. What kind of monster are you? Joraiya asked. A fox. Naruto replied, laughing his ass off when Joraiya's jaw dropped. I think you can surprise me. You can't surprise anymore. Now tell what was that about Tsunade being your grandma? Joraiya said exactly that. She is my mother's mother. My mother was Uzumaki Kushina, right? Naruto asked and Jiraiya nodded. My mother's real name was Senju Kushina and she was the daughter of Senju Tsunade. Naruto explained. I knew Tsunade had a daughter, but I heard she died. I never realized she was Kushina. Jiraiya thought out loud. That makes you a member of the Senju clan and also the Uchiha clan. Jiraiya said, pretty much. Naruto nodded. Do you know what Tsunade is? I promised the old man that I would bring her back. After all, still has me for family. Naruto concluded. Good luck with that. She lost everything and left the village for good. I have tried to talk to her, but it's no good. I guess maybe you can after the tuning exams. We will after the tuning exams, we will go look for her. Joraya said, any more surprises you have? He asked. Nope, I don't think I have anything more. Naruto replied, so will you train me, Baka, Ero Sensei, Senen, Ero Senen, Parvisage? Naruto asked. Joraya twitched at his name. Don't call me that, Baka. Fine, I will teach you a couple of things. Let's go to another spot, he replied. With Naruto and Jiraiya, okay, I will teach you this killer technique. Jiraiya said and smacked his palm on the ground and erupted in smoke, revealing a toad with large scroll in his tongue. Summoning contract, I already have one. Naruto said and Jiraiya's eyes twitched. Which one do you have? Jiraiya asked. Foxes. Naruto replied and got a confused face from Jiraiya. There is no fox contract. Jiraiya started with his arms crossed. Naruto beat his thumb and flashed through hand seals and slammed his hand on the ground. When the smoke cleared, Kiton appeared. This is Kiton, a tracking fox. Naruto, Fox, and Kiton gave Jiraiya his foxy grin. Why did you get it? Jiraiya asked. Kyuubi gave it to me. Kyuubi gave it to me, Naruto said, and Jiraiya was gobsmacked. You already talked to him? Jiraiya asked, and Naruto nodded. Just be careful, foxes are known to be cunning, Jiraiya said. Naruto nodded. If he knew Kuroma's case was open, he would freak. He would freak, Naruto thought, chuckling. So, anything else you can teach me? Naruto asked. Fine, let's start with this. Jiraiya said, the next couple of jutsus are of my own creation. Use a Sharingan. It is easier to memorize the seals. Jiraiya said, and Naruto activated his eyes. Guardian. Jiraiya said, and immediately his hair grew formed a shield around his body, protecting him. Your turn, he said. That's cool. I wonder what mine will look like since I'm blonde. Naruto said and performed the same as Jiraiya. After the third try, Naruto could perform this jutsu effortlessly and could rely on it for combat. Good. Remember, this jutsu only protects from B rank and below. Jiraiya explained and Naruto nodded. Also, if you intend to rely on this jutsu for defense, you should let your hair grow a bit like mine, or so it would be quicker to use. Jiraiya explained. Now I want to check if your Rasengan is up to standard. Clash it with mine. Jiraiya said, and Naruto raised an eyebrow. I want to see if the composition, rotation, and general power is good enough. Jiraiya explained, and Naruto nodded, and both jumped back a few meters, facing each other. Both dashed forward with their palms facing one another, yelled Rasengan at the same time. Both spears clashed against one another. Both fighters for surprises. The confrontation continued for a few seconds until both spears exploded and sent Jiraiya and Naruto flying on the opposite directions. They quickly regained their senses and landed on the ground without much travel. your Rasengan is good, Joraya said. Oh, by the way, how are your facing is facing in the final? Who are you facing in the finals? I'm facing the last Uchiha. Naruto said, chuckling. He will be in on hell of a ride when he finds out he isn't the last Uchiha, Jiraiya said, laughing. Parvi says, Naruto called out and his sensitive eyes twitched. You trained my father, right? Yeah, he asked, and Jiraiya nodded before he continued. Do you know how he trained with the Hiraishin? He asked. What do you mean? Jiraiya asked until realization hit him. Don't tell me you can use it as well. He asked. Yes, I finished my version of the Shiki formulation a couple months ago, but it is hard for me to multiple jump in quick succession. I tend to crash into some things. You said you finished your version of Shiki formula. Jiraiya asked, his hands on his chin. How good are you with seals? He asked. Seal Master level 10. Naruto started and Jiraiya crossed his arms and brooded, pondering something and genius, pouting something and genius blondes. I know your father used to train by placing his Hiraishin seal on multiple places, making it kind of a Great. I believe he also trained his own agility and flexibility as well. He had the same problem as you when he first began. Jiraiya explained. Thanks, I will do that. Naruto said. Parvi said, I have been wondering, do you know who my godmother is? He asked, and Jiraiya raised an eyebrow. Godmother, I believe your godmother is Hyuga Hana. After all, Hana and Hiyashi were your parents' best friends, Jiraiya explained while about a few fun reminiscing about a few fun memories. Hinata-chan's mother. Who would have known? Naruto said. What is it so? Why is it? What have make it so surprising? Jiraiya asked. Hinata is my girlfriend. Naruto started, and that sent Jiraiya into a fit of perverted giggles, making Naruto's eyes twitch and wonder if it was wise to tell him that. I know you are a heartthrob. You are going to make me rich. You are like your parents, Jiraiya said. What do you mean? Naruto asked confused, but when it came to his godfather, he already expected anything. I'm author of these amazing books, Jorah said, and took an already too familiar orange book from his clothes. One of these books is based on your parents, Jorah said, giggling like a fangirl with a trickle of blood on his nose. You spied on my parents? Naruto asked, but it was more a statement. Jiraiya nodded, quite proud of his accomplishment. If you do that to me and Hinata, I will shove a raikiri up your ass. Naruto said, and Jiraiya shrieked at that thought. Calm down. It was only a joke or not. Jiraiya said, laughing his ass off at his expression. Are you really a Sanin? Naruto asked, getting more and more disfigured of his superiority towards says of a godfather. Just forget it. Let's continue the training. Jiraiya said and thought for a moment. Have you trained using the Kyuubi's power? He asked. Have you? I already can use the Kyuubi's full power. Naruto said, much to the shock of Jiraiya. What do you mean full power? Jiraiya asked. When I met my father at 5 years old, he opened the Kyuubi's case so I can access all of his chakra. Naruto explained. You can control him? Jiraiya said astonished. There were only a few people in history that could control the power of a Biju. There were the Yagami, the Sanbi, Jinchuriki, and the Killer Bee, and the Hachibi Jinchuriki. That the point you don't control them. That's the point. You don't control them. You work with them. You work with them. Naruto explained, "Are you telling me that you are friends?" He asked. "Pretty much. I am looking for a way to set him free. He doesn't deserve to be locked up and used as a weapon." Naruto said, "You don't seem crazy, so if you are really trying to set him free and Minato opened the cage, I assume it wasn't his fault that the Kyuubi attacked 14 years ago. Exactly when I was being born, someone attacked my mother and he moved the Kyuubi from her. Then he used the Sharingan to control him and attack the village," Naruto explained, "but only Madara managed to control him." Jiraiya said, "I know that from the history books. However, my father knew it wasn't murder after all. My father would recognize his own father's chakra signature." Naruto said, "That makes sense. Your father was a seal master. There was no way the seal would break with him present. Seal would break with him present." Jiraiya started, should I tell him about the Akatsuki? He seems much more mature than children of his age, and he is already strong." Jiraiya thought, "I wasn't planning on telling you this, but I see that you are mature enough to understand." Jiraiya said a very serious tone, with a very serious tone. "What is it now?" Naruto asked. "There is a group of S-ranked criminal called Akatsuki, and they are after you, the Biju." Jiraiya said, "Why can't my life be simple?" Naruto said, and as he sat on the ground, "My life since birth has been an S-rank mission. Hated by almost everyone. Now I will be chased by Kage-level ninjas," he said, sighing. "You will have it rough, but you have the people that care about you. You have me, the Hokage, your girlfriend, and I bet you have more friends." Jiraiya said, and Naruto slowly nodded, "Clinging to those that care about you and ignored the rest." He said, "I guess." Naruto said, What's your dream?" Jiraiya asked. "To be Hokage." Naruto said with a smile, "The same dream as both his parents. I will do my best to guide you there." Jiraiya thought, "Then go, don't give up. Fight for what you want." Jiraiya said, "I never give up, I never surrender, for that's my ninja way," Naruto said, and he nodded vigorously as he jumped to his feet. Jiraiya smiled. Naruto remembered him so much of Minato and Kushina, it was scary. He had Minato's interaction with Kushina's personality. "Let's go, I will treat you some dinner." Jiraiya said, "Yes, ramen, here we go." Naruto said, and Jiraiya froze. "No, not ramen," Jiraiya thought while he cried anime tears in his mind. That's all for this part. If you wanna be notified for future parts, then the best way is by subscribing. That being said, I have to see you in the next one. Bye bye.